Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to another episode of the Mr. Clutch Sportscast. It is I, your humble host, Mr. Clutch. I took a little time off. We have some things going on here. But nonetheless, I am back. I'm sorry for my absence, but I'm here again. My bad. Little preview of next week before we jump into this week's episode. Well, rather, hopefully it'll be this Saturday, but definitely this coming Sunday, if worse comes to worse. We're going to be jumping into fantasy football next week. I had my fantasy draft, I think a couple weeks ago now. So I will run down my team, and we'll also do a little bit more fantasy football related stuff in the next coming weeks. Unless if there's some big baseball trade news, then that's assume that fantasy football is on the very near future. However, if you'll remember, 3 or 4 weeks ago, I promised an MLB Postseason Prediction show with the winners. We'll do air quotes because we don't know anything yet because it's the middle of the season. But the winners of all the divisions, American League, National League, West, East, Central, all that good stuff, wild card. Well, literally about 10 minutes ago, I made this. Yeah, that's right. I'm going hardcore this year. I'm pretty sure this is what I had 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. And that is what I'm going with. Even though lots of things have changed, Boston is playing pretty well. They just lost 2 in a row to the Yankees over in London, but overall, they're playing much better. The Indians are playing a lot better. Who else? The Angels are playing better. The Oakland A's are playing a lot better. So there's some things that are heating up, but as the dude code, or as I'm trying to follow the dude code, I'm sticking with my original predictions from 3 weeks ago. They're all here. Let me run them down for you just as a refresher. Let's go American League first. American League West winners and number 1 seed, the Houston Astros, will play the winner of the wild card game, either the Rays or the Rangers. I have the Rays as the number 1 wild card, so they're the number 4 overall seed in the American League. And the Texas Rangers picking up that second wild card spot, although, like I said, that's in question now. American League Central winners are the number 2 seed in this bracket, the Minnesota Twins, and the number 3 seed, American League East winning New York Yankees, wrap up the American League. I'll run down the National League real quick. Number 2, this is going to come down to the wire, but I still think this is true. The Chicago Cubs will win the National League Central, pick up a number 2 seed while they're at it. The Atlanta Braves, they're hot. I think they stay hot, win the National League East, pick up a number 3 seed while they're at it. Per 3 weeks ago. The Dodgers are going to roll. They're going to pick up a number 1 seed, win the National League West for the 7th straight year. I was wrong a couple weeks ago during the predictions video for the division. And for the wildcard teams, I got the Brewers picking up the first wildcard spot, so they're the number 4 seed. And the Philadelphia Phillies, even though they've been tanking lately, per 3 weeks ago, Philadelphia Phillies pick up that last playoff spot in the National League. So, without much further ado, let's get right into it. We'll start with the wildcard games, because that's the way the playoffs move. Wildcard game is a 1-game essentially play-in. If you win, you face the number 1 seed in that division, or league, rather. Let's go American League first. Rays and Rangers. This is interesting because they just had a series this past weekend. I believe it was a 4-game set, and if I remember right, they split it 2-2. This is tough for me because they're both playing really well. The Rays have cooled off a little bit, but they're still playing really well. I'm gonna go ahead and give this to the Rays. I think in the end, their pitching and their overall offense, they just find a way to win. They can use their opener strategy against the Rangers in the wild card game, which in all likelihood is what they'll do. Plus, you have Blake Snell and Charlie Morton, if worse comes to worse. So, I'm filling this out real time, by the way, just so you guys can see. There's a lot of blank spaces. So we'll punch in Rays. This is going to be challenging. 4. Rays. Okay, cool. Now, let's keep going with the American League. We'll punch it all the way through to the World Series. That would set up a Houston Astros and Tampa Bay Rays division series, which is a best of 5. So first team to win 3 games wins the series. Astros would win. The Astros are way too powerful. They're pitching with Garrett Cole, Justin Verlander. That's a 1-2 combo you don't want to go up against. Plus, their offense is phenomenal, as it has been the past 4 seasons? 5? I don't know. 4 or 5 seasons. They've been really hot offensively. Alex Bregman is killing it down in Houston. They have that new guy, too, that they just called up. I forget his name, but he's doing really well. Really, really well. So I think the Astros take that series handily. If they don't sweep, then they win it in 4. To the second division series in the American League, Twins and Yankees. I think Yankees. I've been watching the Yankees lately and the Twins, and the Yankees are balling right now. They have 31 consecutive games with a home run, which is an MLB record. In case if you didn't know, you're welcome. And I think that offense is explosive enough to the point where they can make up for a lackluster starting pitching performance. And their bullpen in the back end has done really well this year. And I think that's what carries the Yankees over the Twins. Now, this one's not going to be as easy. I think it probably goes to 5. Best case scenario for the Yankees, they win it in 4. 3-1, they would be playing at that point in the Bronx, so that'd be in their favor. But in all likelihood, I think this goes to 5. The Twins are really well balanced. Plus, they have great starting pitching. Their bullpen is really well. One thing I worry about with the Twins, though, is they're playing in the American League Central, and they have basically no competition for the division. So, yeah. I mean, the Twins cakewalk everyone in the American League Central. So, that's part of my reasoning. The Yankees are still in the midst of a division battle with both the Red Sox, who, like I said at the beginning, are getting hot, and the Rays. On to the American League Championship Series. American League the League Championship Series and the World Series are both best of 7. First one to win 4 wins it. I gotta go Astros here. I think this is where the Yankees starting pitching will catch up with them if they're not excellent. Plus, that Astros offense can do lots of different things. They can play small ball, they can go yard lots of times. And the Astros bullpen does really well also. So I think the starting pitching, if the Yankees are not on point, they're going to be hurting. Astros win it in 6, we'll say. Just because I think the Yankees will put up a fight. Like they did 2017, the year that the Astros won it all. That is it for the American League for now. So the Astros move all the way to the World Series. I don't think that's a surprise to a lot of people. Let's move to the National League. Brewers and Phillies. The Phillies suck right now. So unless if lots of things change, I'm going Brewers all the way. Here's the thing. The Brewers are not great either, but the NL Central is so jam-packed. Cincinnati is still in the mix for the division. That's how jam-packed this thing is. The Cubs are up a game, somewhere between a game and 2 games on the Brewers, but the Cardinals are right behind them. They're only down 3 or 4 games. The Pirates are down 5, I believe. Somewhere in that range, 5, 5.5. And like I said, the Reds are only down 6.5. So the Brewers are bad for a different reason. They have a lot of competition in that division, in the NL Central. For the Phillies, the East is starting to open up. The Braves are pulling away. And the Phillies, yeah, their offense has been stagnant. Today, they scored 10 runs, but that was against the Marlins, and the Marlins, as I have well documented in the past, straight up suck. So I wouldn't take that as a huge win. You'll take a win when you can get it, obviously, in the majors, but it's still not ideal. So that would set up the Brewers heading to Los Angeles to play the Dodgers for the division series. But before we do that, obviously I'm biased, but I probably should have taken this hat off and put on another one before we started this. But either way, it works. We'll do Cubs and Braves next. This is interesting to me because right now the Cubs are still winning games. They're still playing well. And I think the competition in their division will kind of refine them a little bit. Plus, they have Craig Kimbrell now. Got his first Cubbies save a couple days ago. So that was a good sign for them. But the Braves also have Dallas Keuchel, and they're playing on fire. This is a tough one. This is difficult for me to predict. They're both good for different reasons in terms of the whole team part of it. The Braves are playing on fire right now. The Cubs have a tight division, so they're essentially playing for the division, which would give them obviously some time off before jumping right into the playoffs. I'm going to give it to the Cubbies. They win it in 5. It's going to be some dramatic fashion at Wrigley. I think the starting pitching will be good enough. Lester and Hamels will do their thing. Quintana will do well enough. And Yu Darvish is starting to turn things around, so I think you throw all that together and that can be a recipe for success against the Braves. But I would not be surprised if just the same the Braves won it in 5. So I'm picking Cubbies, but I have absolutely no faith in that. Now, on to the Dodgers and Brewers. I'm obviously going to pick Dodgers. 1, yes, I am biased. But number 2, they're playing really well this year. I know they just split a 4-game set with the Rockies. They played in Colorado, okay? That's a tough place to play for any team. Hyun-Jin Ryu, borderline unstoppable. That's just the way he's been going this year. Clayton Kershaw has looked more and more like Clayton Kershaw as the games have gone on. Walker Buehler has been amazing. Once they get Rich Hill back, that will help them tremendously. And their offense is just really balanced. Cody Bellinger, Max Muncy, Justin Turner. Corey Seager's out for now. He should be back sometime in late August, September, I think was the initial timeline. But I just read something today that said there's no timeline, which is awesome. But Seager will be back for the postseason. I'm fairly confident in that. And right now, with the way they're going, I'm just going to tell you right now, I have them going to the World Series. So, Dodgers-Cubs, League Championship Series. Dodgers, they should win it in 5. But I wouldn't be surprised if they drop one that they shouldn't at Wrigley and go to 6. Again, for the same reasons. Offense, really balanced. Starting pitching, really, really good. One thing that the Dodgers will more likely than not address with the trade deadline coming up is reliever. Their bullpen has shown some weaknesses. If they can get it to the back end, then Kenley Jansen can do his thing. But I'll just leave it at they've shown some weakness. If you want to do some more research, head on over to either ESPN or MLB.com and just look at the names immediately following the starters. We'll move on now. So, this is what the bracket looks like to this point. We're down to one more spot to fill. World Series champions. We've got Astros, Dodgers, rematch of 2017. I don't know how clear that was. Let me check. Oh, that's pretty clear. Alright, cool. So, Dodgers, Astros, like I said, rematch of 2017. For the Dodgers, if they get there, this will be their 3rd straight year. For the Astros, this will be their 2nd time in 3 years. And for the Dodgers, this is their year. I feel it. I know I said it last year. I know I said it the year before too. But this year is their year. I truly, truly believe that. They know the formula now. They know. I just wrote a 6 down. What am I doing? I don't even need numbers at this point. There's one more spot. The Dodgers' balanced offense and their starting pitching is what's going to carry them. And I believe they'll get a guy from some really struggling team who, is a good reliever on a bad team. Honestly, that's what I think is going to happen for the Dodgers. They might even grab a couple guys. Who knows? But the Astros will put up a fight, I believe. Dodgers win it in 6, best case scenario. worst case scenario, and this would give me a heart attack, they go to 7. Dodgers win it there. So yeah, this is the bracket. If you guys would feel free to comment down below, that'd be awesome. Let me know if you agree, disagree. I will hang on to this until the end of the postseason. I will probably also make another one of these at the end of the season once everything has been decided and is wrapped up. But for now, that's the bracket. It's going to stay that way. I put it in pen on purpose, so I can't change it. There you go. Man of integrity, dude code, followed. Like I said, next week is going to be fantasy football. The week after that, probably more fantasy football, unless if there's some big trade in Major League Baseball that needs to get broken down, then we can push fantasy football off to the side for a week or two, or however many we need. So yeah, that is Major League Baseball postseason bracket predictions part 1. Part 2 is coming in September, maybe October, depending on how long it takes for everything to wrap up. But until next week, give this video a thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and if you do, make sure you hit that little bell so you get notified every single time I post a video, which is few and far between, but you will get notified. So there's that. Also, comment down below whether you agree, whether you disagree, whether you think Chili's is awesome or not, because I just had Chili's for dinner. It was tremendous. However, my voice is now on fire. So, I'm going to wrap up the video. Until next week, thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay clutch, people.